It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we're now talking about decor. And unless you're an art curator, a gallery owner, or an artist, chances are that buying art does not come very naturally to you. Well, we've heard so many times here on Expresso that art, it can change a room and it can even be a lifetime investment. Well, I guess you also have questions such as, how do I choose the right piece? Where do I invest? How do I start? How do I educate myself? Well, here to answer some of those questions, we have Thomaz, one of our favorite interior designers. Dylan, it's great to have you back.
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Let's talk about the finest things. Can you tell us the difference between fine art and wall art?
That's a very good question. So fine art is art that you can collect and it has some sort of value, and it's exhibited in museums or galleries in that sort of platform. Wall art could be illustrative, it could be vinyls that get put onto a wall. So that's the biggest difference between the two.
Oh, they chose this especially for me, the black cats. I love that. Now, when it comes to choosing the right piece of art, how do you go about it in terms of proportionate to the space you have available?
So I always think the bigger the piece of art, the more substantial it feels in a space. However, if you have a very large wall and you have an absolutely beautiful piece, I think you could have a really small piece, as long as it's offset slightly.
Okay.
Yeah, but bigger is better.
Bigger is better in your opinion?
Yes.
Awesome. And when it comes to choosing something for the bedroom and perhaps something for the lounge, does the room it's going to be displaying matter?
Yes, it does. I think when you put art into your bedroom, it's very personal. So you want something that's going to be the last thing that you see. So it should firstly make you happy. And I think it should be something that will give you a sense of relaxation. And in your living room, it's going to be more of a statement piece that has more of a political statement or something like that. So I would really consider the piece of art wherever it goes.
Okay, so you'll make that decision before you purchase. Well, you'll think of where you're going to place it before you purchase it.
Completely.
And then the last thing I want to ask you, your top 3 tips for when it comes to purchasing art or buying art.
So I think the first thing is it has to make you smile.
Okay.
If it doesn't make you smile, it's pointless, right? It needs to evoke some sort of emotion. The second thing is it going to be an investment piece, or is it going to be a piece that is just going to be a filler? And then consider where it would go.
Okay. Well, Dylan, thank you for that. I love that. That was short and quick. I was waiting for more. Top 3 tips. Okay. So quickly run me through it again.
So the first thing is it should make you smile.
Okay.
The second point is where will it go?
Yeah.
And is it going to be an investment piece or a filler piece?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Those are the
Dylan,
first 3.
Thomaz, thank you so much for joining us. And there you have it. Buying art that, really express what you love and who you are. And stay tuned, because a little later in the show, we'll also sit down with an expert in the field of buying art, and he will be sharing some secrets about investing in art.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this morning's how-to. And speaking of art, it really can be extremely intimidating if it seems that everyone understands what's going on except you, which can make it even difficult for you to buy your first piece of art. Well, that art hanging, on your wall can be a high reward and a long-term financial investment, but it can also be risky. And this is why we brought in an expert in the field of fine art trading to educate us on how to invest in art. And joining us this morning is Frank Kilburn, Executive Chairman of Strauss & Co. Frank, good morning.
Morning, Zoe.
You know what, I think the question in everyone's mind is, where do we start if we're interested in purchasing and investing in art?
Yes, I think it's a very good question. It's basically like anything else. You start by doing your homework. Mm-hmm. And the good thing about art is that your homework's a lot of fun. So my advice would be to go out and to as many galleries as you can to see what's on offer, to go to the museums, and if you can, to go to every auction that you can. Have a look at the catalogue. It gives you an overview of a wide variety of artists and what the appropriate price for those artworks would be. So that's a very good place to start.
Okay, I like that. And they also say that art needs to make you feel something. There needs to be an emotional connection. But what makes a good piece of art?
Yeah, I think it goes beyond the pure aesthetics of a work of art. It's very important, I think, for any collector to love what you collect. That is the thing, because whatever investment value it has, the most important investment is how it changes your life, what it means to you. So I would say that you must go for a high-quality artist and buy works, if you can, that will mesmerize you for the rest of your life. So that every time you see it, you see something new.
Okay, I like that. I really like that. And that's something that Dylan also touched on. It needs to make you happy. It needs to make you smile. Now, for someone that's interested in purchasing their first piece of art, is there like a price range or a bracket that just as a frame of reference?
The fortunate thing, Zoe, is that you can really buy quality artwork from quality artists from as little as 500 to 1,000 Rand a shot. So you can really start at the bottom by buying works on paper, multiple editions from well-known artists. So I would say that's an excellent way to start. And then if you go around some of the young talent shows at university and otherwise, you can pick up artists long before they become famous and travel the journey with them. So there are many ways. The online auctions at Strauss & Company, we specialize on works below 2,500 Rand to make it as accessible to as many people as possible. That's also a great place to start.
Okay, now you mentioned that you guys, Strauss & Co, will be you do various auctions. Can you tell me a little bit more about the contemporary art auction that will be taking place in Cape Town soon?
Yes, so we're extremely excited about it. It's the first time that there's a contemporary art only auction in South Africa. It happens at the same time as the Cape Town Art Fair, which is now a major event on the World Art Calendar. And we're very excited about the opportunity to showcase a number of outstanding South African and African artists on the show. And it really, the price ranges are from 40 to 50,000 up to 3.5 million. So there's something for everyone, and it promises to be a very exciting event.
Well, Frank, thank you so much for joining us and shedding some insight. And, you know, we all want to benefit from something that's doing well, and the art market is no different. Yet at the end of the day, it pays to think about the purpose art serves in both your life and your home.